All right, Super Bowl week here on the Better in Laws podcast. Tucker Silva, Matt Prisco, brother in laws, better in laws, here to join you, walk you through everything that we have here for Super Bowl 59 between the Chiefs and the Eagles. We'll be diving into obviously which side we're on, what total we're leaning, in terms of over under and all the goofy props that are out there. I know I've hit a ton, Matthew. And we'll do the long shots. We'll cover it all. We'll cover it all for you guys out there. It's clearly one of the best gambling weeks of the year, considering that uh, um, projections are out there that $1.4 billion will be placed on bets legally, Matt. I don't know if you saw that stat, which is better than 1.25 billion last year.
Pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just legally, mind you. It's not
Yeah.
dealing with one Mr. Pickle, who one Joe Murray refers to frequently. And speaking of Joe Murray, he'll be joining us shortly here.
Oh, awesome. Little surprise. I didn't know that.
Yeah, just to check in and
Yeah, love
give
it.
his side in terms of who he's feeling for the Super Bowl. And, it's not going to be like a 2-hour podcast like we did last time. Like, yeah, he'll check in 15, 30 minutes or whatever. So he's going to text me whenever he's on. And when that happens, Matt, by the way, I need you to like fill time because I have to go in that room next to me. If you're
Yeah.
watching on YouTube, you'll know where I'm pointing at Better in Laws on YouTube, and I have to admit him into the Zoom. So
Yeah.
I'll
I'll
let
just
you know
my
that.
solo. I'll
It,
pull a
it's an
Colin Coward.
yeah, it's an interesting operation we have here behind the board and on there, and yeah, it's a whole thing. It's just literally the two of us. So that is the setup we're dealing with here today. But
All
Matt,
right.
how you doing, buddy? What are your vibes overall for the Super Bowl? We were just talking off air, and I think both of us agreed that we have flip flopped
Yeah.
during this bye week or this long absence from football. And last week I felt one way, this week I feel another way, and I'm just going to go with what I'm feeling this week at this moment. And I don't know which way you're going, by the way.
Early on, yeah, likewise. I don't know where you're going either. We just told each other we flip-flopped. It's funny. Early on, I'm like, uh, as everybody knows, I have a pretty big Eagles fan in this game because I have a future ticket on them winning a Super Bowl at plus 1600, I believe the ticket is. So I am invested in the Eagles winning this game. And I thought to myself last week, am I going to hedge this? Am I not going to hedge it? Am I going to double down? Smart person would probably hedge it. I don't hedge. I don't cash out of bets. I that's just how I am. That's
Mm.
me personally as a better. I make bets. I believe in that bet and I'll go with it. So for me, early on last week, well, after the games, I sat down. I was sick, but I was just hanging in there. I'm thinking, how am I going to bet this game? And I'll tell you that I bet this game officially on Sunday. Uh,
Okay.
we'll get
Oh,
into that.
don't give it out yet. Don't give
No,
it
no,
out.
not going to get it out yet.
Okay.
But I will say, I bet it on Sunday, and if I was going to bet it the Sunday after the games, it would have been different. So I'm glad I waited, took my time, dug into the game a little bit last weekend when I had some time to finally do so, and made my decision on what I think is going to happen. Yeah, I used the bye week, Tuck, to actually invest some time and take my time before I just fired off. With the Super Bowl, the line opened at one, got up to two, sat at 1.5 for the longest time, and then I think last night we started some movement to start to get down to one.
Yeah, I'm still
Back
seeing
to
one and
one
a
and a
half.
half in certain areas. Yeah, depending on where you're looking, it's like a juiced 1.5 now, I think, for the most part, a little bit like minus 115. But a lot of it's in between that 1.5 number. You can get either one depending on where you're looking.
So, Matt, there's a couple of different angles on this approach for the Super Bowl. Not only do we have the 1.5, whatever you're seeing a lot of money line action or waiting to take Philly money line potentially if that line happens to move. I don't think this line's going to move, that me personally, but you've seen the argument for taking the spread or the money line or just going after the Super Bowl MVP, right? So if you wanted the Kansas City Chiefs to win, why not just bet Patrick Mahomes MVP? Because that's most likely what it's going to be. So why not just take that approach? Where do you stand on that approach, Matt? Would you just prefer to stick with the spread? Are you having any money line sprinkles, or do you want to take a leap and just go after a square MVP play for better odds?
Yeah, good question, Tuck. I personally don't play it that way. I understand why you would, right? If you can get Mahomes, for example, at like plus anything, it's not a bad play. It's
Like
correlated.
if you're convinced the Chiefs are going to win, then
Yeah,
take the plus money, right?
pretty good, right? Your odds of Mahomes winning that are strong, but there's still a chance that he's not, right? So for me, I'd rather play the game at this point. I think the game's close enough where you can just take a money line. You say, I think this team's going to win. I'm taking them. Like if you don't feel confident, if you're a Chiefs backer and you don't feel confident laying the point and a half because you're worried about the one, these games, I mean, you're at the Super Bowl. There's one game left. The lines are as sharp as they get. This is just what it is. So if you don't want to lay 1.5, you can get a reduced money line prices. That money line's come down a little bit. I think it's like minus 125 the last time I looked for the Chiefs. I don't know what it is current. I should know because we're doing the show. Minus
Money
120.
line is minus
Minus
120.
120. So for me, I'd rather just play the minus 120 in the event that Mahomes doesn't win the MVP. Is there like a defensive star in the game that just makes a huge couple of plays or a big play that just turns the game? I understand that it's a QB award for the most part, but we have seen guys like Cooper Kupp a couple years ago won that award. It's not totally out of the question that another player wins Super Bowl MVP. So for me, if I feel strong about a team or I want to bet a side, I'm still betting the actual game more so than the MVP. I might split. I might also dabble up and or double up and hit Mahomes if that's how I feel. But
Mhm.
um, that way I could hit it twice if they win, right? Or just lose twice. Who knows? But like at the end of the day, I personally probably a little bit different, but I bet the game and I would bet the actual MVP. I do both.
Matt, why don't you just walk us through quick if you can pull up the numbers here in terms of as of Wednesday afternoon when we're recording.
Mhm.
What are we seeing in terms of money and tickets and the public, et cetera? What are the percentages looking like?
We have about 60% of the money on Philadelphia.
Spread?
That makes sense. Yeah, the plus two. Um, this is the totals I have are just totals on the team in general.
Okay.
So probably a blend of actual money line and spread, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, but I see 60% of the money right now on Philly and a little less on the tickets, but it's pretty split. I, I, I think this, Tuck, I think most people have not bet this game yet. When you talk about the public, we talk about this a lot. The Super Bowl is a little bit different because there's so many things to bet and people start to get involved. I think the biggest thing here, though, is just understanding that like the public's going to hop in on the weekend. Like Sunday is a huge day for the regular better to get in there and bet games. That's just something that we see all year long. So the money that we see now is, a lot of professional money, but not fully. So, I just think in general, you'll see more public money come in towards the end of this week. Closer, I mean, on the weekends, you're going to see like Saturday, Sunday, heavy public money.
Well, Matt, I have not personally. I've placed a lot of several prop wagers. I have not placed an official bet for the game in terms of that. I'm kind of on the side of let's wait it out and see if the spread moves just in case.
Mhm.
But I don't think that's going to happen. So who the hell knows? Maybe by the end of the the podcast, I'll just hammer something because
Hammer shot.
I'm feeling pretty good about it now, and we'll talk about it as we go on. But before we do that, let's welcome in Joe Murray of 98.5, the Sports Hub on nights from 6 to 11. Joe, is that correct?
Yeah, it depends on the night. You know what I mean? Some days
Yeah,
it's 10, some days it's 11, some days it's midnight. I'm the night guy at
you're the
98.
night guy. Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
right.
Love it. Thanks, Joe. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, how we doing?
So,
Super Bowl week.
yeah,
What?
exactly, Joe. And we were just talking about Matt was just running through the percentages that he's seeing in terms of where the money is going, in terms of tickets and whatnot. and we started off the podcast pretty much talking about how both of us have flip-flopped from the bye week to this week, and we do not know each other's picks yet, mind you. So what are your vibes like going into the Super Bowl? Have you had one pick this entire time throughout the bye week, or are you having differing feelings about this matchup?
Well, I will say this. Look back in history at lines that opened around 1.5, right? Let's use the Seattle Patriots one from years ago, the Malcolm Butler interception.
Yep.
I believe the Patriots opened as a favorite, closed as a favorite, or it flipped back and forth. The money went everywhere. It was both sides. It was everywhere. Patriots ended up winning the game. It almost did get a little dicey if they took that safety late there on the Brady sneak, but the line indicates to me a close game, right? The Chiefs have
Sure.
played close games. The Eagles played them in a Super Bowl in a close game. So the line indicates like you're going to get a game. There isn't a blowout side. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there like NFL weekends where a team is -1 and you're like, dude, this is crazy? And it always goes the opposite direction, right? Like it's always not what you think it was when it's a fishy line like that. This is about being a good game. Two of the best teams in the NFL all year long consistently. The difference is though, guys, to be honest with you, I haven't made a pick either. I'm waiting to see how this thing finishes out. I want to know if we can get the Chiefs at even money. If they're an underdog, I'm all over the Chiefs. Like, forget about who wins and loses on the field if we just look at the number. If the Chiefs, if it goes anywhere from 1 to a half to a pick to a dog, I'm Chiefs all day long. I'm not going to fade that. So I'm still waiting. I don't have a pick either.
So, I mean, you guys know better than I, but do you think that this moves at all, or are we going to see serious movement by Sunday morning?
I'll say from my perspective, tough to tell, but I do think the Chiefs are the public side. I think that you'll see more people. It's interesting because you have the people that hate Mahomes and you hate the Chiefs because they're sick of the Chiefs and they don't want to see the Chiefs. But then you have also the people that are like, well, I'm not betting against Mahomes again, right? Like, I mean, Mahomes has done that to me.
Sure,
I've
yeah.
done that in this playoffs where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done losing money betting against Mahomes. I did it all last year and I got buried for it. And I've been tired of it. And I've said on this show, like, I will not bet against Patrick Mahomes, especially when he's less than 3 points. Like, he just crushes covering that number, as Joe said, as an underdog. Forget it. Like it's like he just smashes in that spot. So I'm interested to see where it goes. The line really has, I mean, it opened 1 up to 2, settled in 1.5 for the longest time, and then like yesterday, a little movement to 1, back to 1.5. So it's I feel like it's gonna kind of be in that area, but I don't think you're gonna see like crazy movement in it by any means. Joe, if you feel different.
I'll give you one on this one. Do I think the line moves? Yes.
You do? Okay.
I Right now the public is the Chiefs, right?
Hmm.
Not on Sunday.
Really? Okay. Wow.
Telling you, man, the world is going to bet against the Chiefs. Now, this is just real. I'm not making this for conversation point or a dig or anything, but there will be the casual Taylor Swift fan that likes the Chiefs.
Mhm.
And maybe there'll be a dabble like, ooh, I'll bet. Can I bet? I want to bet on Taylor. Like that, or Travis. Like, and I mean that in all sincerity, because I
No,
am a
it's
Swift.
true.
It's the thing.
It's just the money will keep that like so I think it's going to be 1, guys. I think it's going to be a 1. And at that point,
Who's favored? The Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Still?
Chiefs. Yep.
Okay.
I think though there's going to be significant money rooting against the Chiefs on Sunday. I'm going to wait this thing out, man. I'm going to wait it out a little bit, but there's a lot of angles I'm looking at. One of them is this. The Eagles just scored 55 points in a championship game. I'm big on recency bias, guys.
Yep.
I'm big on this stuff. And I'll tell you historically, teams to score 40 or more in the conference championship game, 3-7 in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And I'm big on that stuff. I guys, trends are made for a reason, right? I understand there's different teams and things to that degree. The other thing I'll say is this. I think the Chiefs still have the rest difference. Like, yeah, Hurts looked great, but now it's been 2 weeks of not as much activity. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think a lot of things are actually fading against the Eagles, although they may have more talent.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing that I keep coming back to, and it's glaringly obvious that the Eagles have the better roster here. But that's fascinating with the recency bias in terms of 3-7, Joe, with the conference championship going over 40 points. That I did not know. Um, yeah,
And think
man.
of it as a bet. You're betting on a 30% chance. Like there's not enough value in the line to bet on 30% chance.
Well, let's just talk about sides. So you're on the waiting side, right? But come Sunday, if the Chiefs are -1, where are you placing your bet, Joe? And then you follow.
It really depends, but I mean, if you can tell by my analysis so far,
Chiefs.
it's not about hard to bet against the Chiefs or any of that stuff. It's not even history. To me, it's coaching. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid versus Nick Sirianni and Hurts. That's it. I haven't placed the bet yet, but that's where it starts for me and that's where it ends for me.
So you're leaning Chiefs, it sounds like. Okay. Matt,
Yeah.
what about you, buddy?
That's where I was, Joe. That's where I was. I'm like, how do I put against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? It's such an advantage for the Chiefs. And I've just come across, I came across the other side. I bet Philly plus 1.5. And I think the difference is for me, anyways, in this game, we're getting a close game. I could see either side's winning. I'm not going to come in here and say this is my biggest bet of the year just because it's the Super Bowl. It's not. Just an average game for me, the way that I bet it. But I will say, I did go back with the Eagles. I had that ticket, the plus 1,600 ticket to them to win the Super Bowl from preseason, and I doubled down on it. I'm taking the Eagles, and it's not because I'm scared to death of it. As a Niners fan, I did this, and it feels so similar to me where I'm like, here we go again, betting against Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I think the key here is, can the Eagles get up 2 scores late in the fourth quarter? Do they have enough talent to do that? Because if they don't, I don't think they're going to win this game. I'd just be totally honest with you. But I do think the difference in this game is how Philadelphia's offensive and
Yeah.
defensive line match up with the Chiefs in this game, and I think that they can control it. My better play is the under. I like the under, and I'm going under 4. I played under 49. I'd still be okay at 48.5, but I just think a lot of ball control from Philly. Um, I think that you're gonna see a defensive game. Like, this isn't Washington. Joe, to your point, I did see that stat too about the teams dropping over 40 and what that the 3-7, and I was kind of like, oh boy. There's a lot to like about the Chiefs, but I've just been on the Eagles all year. I think they're the better team. I totally agree with Joe on the Sirianni Hurts thing. That's the fair, but I just love Philadelphia's defense, the way that they've really clicked, the way they play. I don't know if the Chiefs, the thing that scares me about the Chiefs on offense is, like, do they have enough speed to get around this Philadelphia defense? Um, Xavier Worthy's a key to me in this game. Like,
Yep.
I think he's got to be the guy that breaks the straw,
Uh,
Philly's defense.
So Matt, I'll just jump in terms of Xavier Worthy, and my biggest hesitation with I don't know going against Philly's defense and this Andy Reid and his playbook is I think you're going to see a lot on Sunday that we haven't seen this entire season. And I think the number one player to target in terms of secret plays is Xavier Worthy. You're going to see some. I think they're going to pound Xavier Worthy. I think you're going to see some trickery. You're going to see him run the ball a lot, I think, more so than he has this year. There's going to be a lot that Andy Reid whips out for this one. Um, that's my one hesitation in terms of the Sirianni and Reed factor. Because, like, I keep going back to that stupid game that Sirianni had. I understand it's a regular season game. The Jaguars game when he's home, and they should have absolutely rolled versus the Jaguars. And here comes this dope Sirianni going for 2 points every time and just like being a goofball, right? Like, are we going to get a goofball moment from Nick Sirianni going up against Andy Reid? Like, that is a huge, huge question mark for me. And obviously, you have to give the edge to Andy Reid. So I just wanted to point that out before you finish, Matt.
So, and this is what I mean by there's two sides here. So, like, I haven't made the decision yet, but realistically, if you want to look at both the Chiefs and the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
The better team against the spread this year was the Eagles, right? The Chiefs won a lot of close games. Does it matter? Maybe it will in a big game. But generally, when a team that was better against the spread in the season versus a team that struggled, the better team generally does win in the. So that would lean towards the Eagles in that aspect. Just a couple other things I wanted to just mention.
Yeah.
Like the against the spread stuff for the Chief is real. Like they weren't great a couple of years ago against the spread. They were one of the worst teams, and they won a couple of years ago. Also fast starts, right? In the last Super Bowl against these two teams, Eagles scored first, lost. Last year, 49ers got out to that big lead, remember? Chiefs came back and won. So whoever's been the team, and I'll actually look it up now in my head, if you give me a second here, but
Put up in your head, okay.
no, dude, I have this uncanny ability to remember things.
All right.
And
Well, look it up in your head.
I think 4 of the last 5 Super Bowl winners scored first and losers scored first. So 4 of the last 5 scored first and lost.
I'll believe you. Sounds right.
Sounds good, right? Let's roll with it. I would just say that whether the Chiefs get down, if they get down to the Eagles, that's their problem. So if you like the Eagles, I almost think betting them to score first might be an advantage. And when the Chiefs led early this year, when they lead, dude, they don't lose. Like their defense in the second half has been excellent.
Like that. Yep.
And one thing I wanted to point out about the Eagles, and this is why I go back to Sirianni Reid. I hated the way Sirianni ended both halves against the Rams. I hated it. And they almost kind of screwed it up that first half against Washington, but it all went to plan. That's something I don't like about the Eagles right there. But
going into the half.
Yeah, if the Chiefs get out to a lead, I think they can hold it. If the Eagles get out, the Chiefs have come back for last year from it. Yeah. I don't think they can do it against the Eagles.
So I'll tell you guys right now, I haven't made this clear, but as of this moment, Wednesday afternoon, I am strongly leaning Eagles plus 1.5. And I just keep coming back to the three-peat has never been done because it's fucking hard, guys. It's fucking hard, right? I mean, now you have Bill Belichick on with on the Let's Go podcast with Brady and Jim Gray. He made a fantastic point in terms of the 2007 Patriots when they were going for history, right? 18-0 or 19-0, whatever it was. Chasing history, that type of history, and this is very much on the same level, the three-peat. That's a ton of pressure. That's a ton of pressure. And a team that has the offense and defense that the Eagles have, I just think that they're going to be jacked up as underdogs in this one to stifle that three-peat talk. And I think they're going to be overly jacked up for this one, ready to go. I just keep coming back to the three-peat is almost impossible. Do you think that they can get it done? Like, that's what I keep coming back to. It's hard for me to see that. That's all.
I think we're all in agreement.
Yep. I agree with you.
And
have you guys thought about the total at all?
Total, I like the under. I like the under.
I keep going back and forth, but I probably lean under.
I think I like the under because I think you're going to see a lot of ball control. I think Mahomes, a lot of completions in this game, short passing game is how I think they have to attack this Philly D. The gadget play is like worthy and stuff. I think, I agree with you, Tuck. I think you're going to see him running the ball. I think quick passes to him, try to get him in space. I think that's going to be more of their run game, but I could see just a lower scoring. I just think we're going to see a lot of running from Philadelphia. Do the Chiefs play single safety high? and take their chances. That's the difference. Do they try to stop Saquon first, and then how does that open up? Do you make Hurts beat you? I think they do play that way.
Yeah.
But I still think the way Saquon's running the ball, I don't think, I mean, you're going to see the Chiefs tackle him, unlike Washington and these other teams. So for me, I like the under, though, ball control offense.
So let me just go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. I don't want to
I
cut
was
you.
going to say the reason why I would lean towards the under is because both defenses have to play, right? Like in order for the teams to even have a shot, their defenses have to play well. So as much as we talk about anytime touchdowns, I mean, remember, guys, the Chiefs played in a Super Bowl where they didn't score a touchdown. Like everyone talks about how great Tom Brady was, their defense didn't allow a touchdown. Like, you know what I'm saying? To the
Right.
Chiefs.
Yep.
So I mean, no one ever talks about that. So I just think that if the game is going to be played like the line indicates, under probably is the favorable side.
So Matt did bring up the underneath shit with the Chiefs and a couple of nugs. I'm going to be throwing a couple nugs here and there. And this one popped up to me. Patrick Mahomes targeted receivers behind the line of scrimmage on a career high 26.9% of his attempts, resulting in 851 passing yards, which is second most in the NFL. And also got a league high 45 first downs. Again, that's behind the line of scrimmage. However, the Eagles defense allowed the fewest yards per attempt and lowest success rate of 29.9% on passes thrown behind the line of scrimmage. So that is a strength for this Eagles defense. So can they stop Mahomes in that same trend? I don't know. But again, that all goes back to, are we going to see some batch of secret plays from Andy Reid in Patrick Mahomes in this game? My guess is yes, because we saw that against Buffalo last week, apparently.
Agree.
Total agreement.
Wow. I mean, you know what? I think it's ready for the game, right? Like we're all just ready. Like what else can we say about it? Just roll out the ball and let's go, dude. Like let's, you
The
know.
2 weeks.
But just remember, this is why I think the Chiefs mentally are ready for this.
Yeah.
Not as though the Eagles haven't been there. Like I think on paper, you put up the two teams, the Eagles are probably more talented, meaning their defensive line, their skill players, right? Like they just have more speed. They also play a different style, right? They got big time receivers that can make plays.
Yeah.
But they also have a quarterback that can do some things, who dominated really in the last Super Bowl against this team. I think there's something about the Spagnuolo defense that's changed, guys. Like I think that defense is elevating.
I mean, talk about secret plays. We saw Spags break out a play yesterday in the AFC Championship game against Josh Allen. He broke out that blitz, the corner blitz.
Blitz from the outside. Exactly. Yeah. They can do that everywhere though. Like they can do that. The Eagles though, like is Sirianni, like does he just lean on their talent and like becomes aggressive at times or lack thereof? Like there's a lot, dude. It's gonna be great. I think this is going to be an outstanding game. And, you know, when you think about rematches, right? What have we had over the last couple of years? We had Patriots Rams. The second one was a dud. Let's call it what it was.
Yeah, there's too much of a gap there, though.
Yep.
But, yeah, Eagles and Chiefs, Niners and Chiefs. Yeah. The recent matchup.
Are rematches close, though? Patriots Giants? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, they're close games.
Yeah.
And I did look this up. Super Bowl losers to score first: San Fran, Philly, Rams, Chiefs, 49ers.
And so that's 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Scored first.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
Do you think we're just dismissing the Eagles' revenge factor?
Yep.
Yep. Probably a little bit. You know, there is that.
I haven't heard that at all. Like, oh, the Eagles can get revenge in this one. I haven't heard that at all. It's all been about the three-peat. And
aren't they different though?
Yeah.
Aren't they different now though?
Yeah, they're better.
Like Saquon Barkley's explosive.
Yeah.
And all those kids that were drafted out of Georgia, they're all playing on defense really well.
Yeah, they're here now. Yeah, the Jalen Carters, you know? And they're here.
I mean,
like
also
they've been waiting on them, and here they are. You know.
Yeah. Yep. Also, if uh, if the Eagles win this game, I think there's a shot that they go on a mini run of their own in terms of getting back to the Super Bowl because, like, look at the NFC. Like, who's really the biggest threat in the NFC going forward? Like, Dan Campbell just lost his entire coaching staff.
Great
Jared Goff's
question.
another year older. Like, who in the NFC is going to stand out for the years to come?
So this is a great question. And I know it's not necessarily betting related, but when you look at the NFC, this is the argument people make about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes does have to go up against Josh Allen. Josh Allen beats Lamar Jackson every year, and Joe Burrow's the only one to beat Mahomes, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, here they are, this like thick of it guys. NFC, it's Matt Stafford, really. And now it's 2 times Jalen Hurts. But Brock Purdy, is he going to get back there? Is he even going to be with the 49ers? Jaden Daniels, can he get back there? It's just, you're right about this. And the Eagles are a blueprint if you really want to look at it for teams to turn around. They had Wentz drafted Hurts, right? A lot of these teams, if you get this quarterback and you're unsure of it or you give him a contract, you have to draft again. Dude, they drafted Tanner McKee, right? That kid looks good too. It's
Okay,
just
yeah.
they have a blueprint. They spend money in free agency and they draft fantastic. So yes,
And
they are the model.
And that's the same thing the Niners have done. And they're the representatives that and you see the Rams do it too. The Rams spend their money, they make their trades, you take big swings. These teams that take big swings are the teams that get back there. The Niners traded up to get Trey Lance to 3 and still drafted Brock Purdy in that draft. And you know what? Like they were lucky to do that, right? So while all having Garoppolo. So like you got to take chances. And these teams that win, Joe, you hit the nail on the head. They spend money, they take swings, they draft really well. Those are the teams that I still think like the Rams, Niners, Eagles. I'm not there with the Lions. You know this. I'm not a Dan Campbell guy, and
They're
I've
taking a
said this.
step back next year.
We'll see. We'll see with him. But I think you've had these teams that are consistently there. Um, I totally agree. The way the Eagles have built this team is a good blueprint to
Yeah,
follow.
they can absolutely go on a run here for years to come. I factor that into my handicap as well. My favorite nugget, however, this is my final nugget.
Fox Nugs.
Yeah, juicy nugs. Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has faced Patrick Mahomes 8 times, 6 with Denver, twice with Miami. His teams are 0-8, and Patrick Mahomes has thrown 10 touchdowns and 2 picks in those games. And the Chiefs average 28.1 points per game against Fangio, with 5 of the 9 wins by multiple scores. Now, you can go ahead and say, like, well, look at those teams, right? Like the Broncos and Miami back then, like different teams. They're not the Eagles, but still, like, I remember Brady, like, owned Wade Phillips, I think, right? When he was with Buffalo. Like, is that kind of what we're seeing with Mahomes and Fangio here, or is it just like as simple as you throw that out the window because Fangio didn't have the talent that he is now in Philly?
Who also
I
though
think,
is go
I
ahead,
think
Joe.
he'll know. I think he'll know it, but the talent's going to be the reason why it works.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. The also 0-8, yes, but Fangio's played him tough. Like think about those Denver teams that have, battled with Mahomes, kept him low scoring, right? Like the couple like 18-12 games. Like there are some low scoring games in there. Like the record hasn't turned up for Fangio, but he's also played him pretty tough. So I don't know. The way this Eagles defense is played has been the major difference for me in this game. I know the Chiefs defense has been lights out. I just can't get away from that. The amount of talent on Philadelphia's roster comparatively to I
Yeah.
know I said this exact same thing last year with the Niners, and I know how it worked out for
Oh, yeah.
I understand. I understand what I'm saying, and it's tough betting against this guy on this stage. It just is. Um, but at the end of the day, I feel like I have to bet the team that I think is the best. I made Philly a 1 point favorite in the game. It's just me. But I support that. So
Joe, how much longer do I have you for? A couple minutes here,
You
or?
got me, bro. Whatever you need.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, let's get into the props. What have you guys taken so far? Anything that you absolutely love? What are you guys looking at here so far?
I'll just start with some stupid ones. I always do a safety. I always do overtime, and I always do a doink. And it hit last year. The doink it hit big time, dude. Last year I did a spreadsheet with 20 picks. Right, I
Yeah.
think I went 4-16 and won money.
because
Okay.
you're hitting things like the doink and OT. That's a huge day. You know?
So that I'll get those ones out of the way.
Yep, love
Right.
that.
So those are like your typical favorite long shots.
Every year, dude. And
What-
what we do is me and my buddy Bird. You guys know Bird. He's from
Yeah,
Everett.
yeah.
We get a coin from Everett, and we flip it, and whatever we nail it on, that's what we bet on.
Like that. I
All
like
right.
that.
Now, do you have any favorite long shots, Joe, unique to this game, or is that just your standard generic Super
Yeah,
Bowl?
standard generic.
Like, do
You
we
know
see
what?
like a fat guy touchdown in this?
Yeah, I've done it before. Yeah, I stopped on that one. You know, there was a streak this year where I was betting Mahomes to throw an interception, dude, and it was rolling.
Yeah.
He's been better at it. I'm sure that you guys have some real props, and we'll get into in a second. But one that I'm looking at is maybe you guys have seen this, but over the last 7 Super Bowls, there have been people to score touchdowns, but their odds have been like over 500 or more.
Mhm.
And every year there's been one. So I actually think there's value in taking some long shots to be an anytime touchdown. And I don't have the number. Maybe you guys have it in front of me, but mine would be Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yes.
He made
I
an
will pull that up.
impact in
He's
the
plus
last.
500. He's plus 500 on DraftKings. I had DraftKings up, so.
He who was it? Elam from the Bills. He cooked that dude. And listen,
Yes.
I'm no Juju guy, all right?
Yeah.
Like, Juju Smith-Schuster, dude, by the way, like, if people remember his year with the Patriots, he got cut, right?
Yep.
He got cut.
Sucked.
He, like, got caught pulling his stuff out at a drive-through.
Is that
and
true?
he was involved in the Jabril Peppers shit.
He was.
I didn't hear about the drive-through thing.
Oh, yeah, he'd be,
What is it, Chick-fil-A or something? Or a taco? Like, what are we talking about? What kind of
he
drive?
was flexing his rings, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I did not hear that one.
Yeah. So, anyways, he scored. He has slowly gotten healthy week in and week out. And you guys talk about these weird curl underneath stuff. He's the guy.
Yeah.
And he can do one-on-one like he did in the Super Bowl. So, I think this is crazy. Juju Smith-Schuster could make an impact in the Super Bowl.
He could.
He had 2 big catches in the championship game.
So that's my long shot.
By the way, Juju Smith-Schuster and DeAndre Hopkins have the same anytime touchdown odds. Hopkins is kind of a sneaky guy here too.
Had a very inspirational
first Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I had a quote this week. You know, talked about his upbringing and hey, if you guys can believe it, I'm here, dude. He's got a lot of motivation too because let's say he wins, dude, he's gonna get a deal. Like I don't know, he might know Mike Vrabel, right? Don't they have a connection? Who knows? I'm just saying, there's a lot on the line for a lot of these guys besides winning.
Yep. Matt, what about you, buddy? In terms of why don't we start with touchdowns? What are you playing? I'm on Dallas Goedert for what it's worth.
I play Goddard.
Yeah,
Goddard's my favorite guy across the board from a props perspective because the Chiefs give up the most yards.
Yeah,
I just think he's also been their best receiver in the playoffs, like AJ Brown included. Like he's been as trusted as anyone across. Now Brown had a better game last week, but still, he's been smashing his overs every week.
Not to toot my own horn here, but what's he at now? 53.5.
Yes,
I got him. I think the Monday after the AFC Championship game, I got him at 47.5 for over.
Beautiful play.
So it's become a square play. Get Dallas Goedert because everybody knows that the Chiefs.
It is a square play.
But still, like square, like you say, Matt, some wins a lot.
Square can play.
Dude, Saquon Barkley's been a great square. I got to admit it.
Yeah, same thing. Saquon and the other square play in this game is like Travis Kelce. He just shows up in these Super Bowls, right? Like I just hard to not play Kelce. Whether you like touchdowns, his yardage, I played his touchdown. I just think he scores in this game. Mahomes always looks to him in big spots, and so I played Kelce in for a touchdown. Good, Joe.
I have one. I already took it. Kelce over 49.5. I don't know where it's at now. Do you know in 14 of the last 15 playoff games, he's had over 50 yards and last 15 straight playoff games, 5 receptions or more.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
great play, Joe, because I think he's way over that right now. I think just let me take a quick look. Yeah, he's at 61 and a
receptions,
half for
receptions is 6.5.
What's yards?
61 and a half
Um,
minus 112.
He's been over 50. I think
Yeah.
it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I agree with you. And in this spot, we see this, right? I mean, I know he hasn't looked like himself, but in the big games, he does show up. And
Look, his career numbers. Look at him against the Eagles. And in the last Super Bowl, he caught 6 for 81 in the touchdown. And he played them twice in 2023. He had 13 catches for 125 and 2 touchdowns versus the Eagles.
yeah, the guy's just he gets open. He still gets open, and he's gonna get his. There's no question.
And he's a little square because of the popularity, you know.
Yeah, for sure, for
So
sure.
that number, like I saw 50 or whatever it was. Now it's up to 61. Woof.
That's inflated. That's inflated.
I'd
Uh,
probably still take it.
Getting close to the end though for me there. That's
Yeah, the value's gone.
like the value's gone. But I think it's still okay.
what else you got? Anything?
I played some Goddard. I played some Kelsey. Those are my guys that I think just
I hit Xavier Worthy over 5.5 rushing yards.
I could see that happening. I think he's gonna, like I said, I think they mix him in. Um, my other play that I played was AJ Brown longest reception over 25 and a half yards. I think in this game, if the Chiefs go to play single high safety, they're going to have to take shots, and they're getting one-on-one coverage. We've seen Hurts; he will go to Brown and take his shot. So, I took a shot with that one. It was minus 120.
Yeah,
Uh,
I completely agree that Hurts has to take shots in this game. And I went the other way, Matt. I went with Devonta Smith over 20.5 longest reception.
mhm.
Just because I think he's not getting enough attention, and he actually had a really good Super Bowl against the Chiefs in their first matchup. Actually, both wideouts did. Come to think of it, so I'm on that as well.
I
I
also
got.
played. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, you go. You go.
I was just gonna say another quick one that I played was Jahan Dotson, under 3.5 receiving yards. The guy just hasn't been a weapon at all. He's caught one pass in the last 5 games. Um, Maybe he comes in as a gadget guy and gets a catch here and ruins me there, but I'll take the under 3.5. I like to play these. Oh, look at this. He's got the card up.
Jahan Dotson rookie card. I
This
gotta
is a
get.
bad omen, Joe. This is a bad omen.
I
How much
gotta
is
get
that
over.
one?
I gotta get rid of this thing.
Well,
I
after the Super Bowl, maybe he reels in a touchdown here.
now he's definitely locking in.
Cheap plug.
Uh,
I'm doing a card show on Super Bowl Sunday in Woburn, right at the Scoreboard Sports Bar and Grill. Come on by, say hello. I
Oh, there you
got cards,
go.
baby. I got Chiefs cards. I got them, baby.
So they're your own personal cards, and you're
My
selling.
own personal collect. Yes, I got a Jalen Hurts rookie card here. I got a Devontae Smith numbered. I got a Patrick Mahomes. I got
What are
myself
those worth?
McDuffie. Probably like $20. It's when it's graded, it's
Oh,
worth.
come on.
Like
A
this
Patrick
one's probably
Mahomes
worth like
rookie?
50 or $60, But you got to get them graded to be worth money.
Oh, what you?
Okay, I'm gonna come by and pick up that Jahan Dotson one from you, Joe. Bring that. I'll stop by. That's gonna. I need the juju on my side here.
Yeah.
Oh, he
So
pulled up.
well, the thing is, he's a good red zone threat.
Yeah.
Because with so many, like Dallas Goddard's going to be, he's been pretty good. He's probably worth a look at a touchdown. I'm looking at two other ones, guys. The red zone defense of the Eagles is so good. It
Mhm.
might be worth going Harrison Bucker over 1.5 field goals.
Yep.
I like that a
Uh,
lot.
I
and
played that.
It's just because of the red zone,
Yep.
And then the other one is this. Guys, I'm not proud of this winning this bet, but I've been taking the over rushing for Mahomes.
Okay.
In 2 games, he has 18 rush attempts. But
Mhm.
check this out: kneel downs count as rushing attempts.
Oh,
So I would go over 6.5.
6.5.
The
Let's
rush
say he's
attack.
got
I
3,
like
let's say
that.
he's got 4 in the game and he nails down the win 3. You hit.
Yep, that's nice. That is nice. I played the Mahomes rushing total over last week and gave that out on this, and he hit that with ease. That was an easy one, actually.
By the way, that was the same play that Lamar Jackson scored a touchdown on the week before against Buffalo.
It's a
If you
little
think
thing.
about it, remember how he rolled out?
Yep.
Well, Lamar Jackson, they did the same thing. They rolled him out in the
Right.
tight end. Same thing. Or was it Lamar? Or I can't remember who it was now. Yeah, it was a play.
That was
Lamar.
Lamar. They played the Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Same play.
Buffalo.
Anything in terms of bullshit novelty props? Like, if you want to touch, I know you're a big coin toss guy, Joe. Anything on that front in terms of like the game itself? Like, I've seen the stupid proposal one. Like, stop. They're not going to propose after the game, Kelsey and Swift. Will you stop it?
Hey, did you see?
You're literally just burning money.
Did you see our former colleague asking questions at the Super Bowl?
I did see that. Asking about the refs.
What are you doing? It's just like, Jesus, dude. Take a hint. Go away for a little bit. Don't talk about your weeklies. That's just
How do you feel, Doc?
well, no. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, that's the first thing I see when I log into social media at 5 a.m, which that's another story. But it's just like, come on, really? You're there representing who exactly? Like, please.
Sports. The mic said sports.
Stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Like, go away.
Anyways, novelty.
Take a break
Novelty.
for a year, dude. Just take a break for a year. That's all.
Look what you started, Joe.
On this one, Tucker. You go, bro.
I mean, whatever. Like, who the fuck am I? Like, right? But still, like, come on. Like, really? All right. What'd you have, Joe?
Tidbits when it comes to the national anthem.
Oh.
The national anthem is 6-4 to the over the last 10 years. 4-2 to the over the last 6 years.
Wait, who's doing the anthem? I should know this.
Trombone Shorty, right?
Yeah.
7 of the last 8 anthems have gone under 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
What about instrument, though? Is there any factor in that?
Jesus,
like, how long are you holding the note for on a trombone,
Yeah, like, oh my God. Holy smokes. This is like, how do we do this one? Does it automatically go over now?
He said he wanted to make something like, I forget the exact terminology. I should have had this.
Pull a Louis Armstrong and hold.
He basically said he wanted to make it memorable. Like he was going to make this memorable. And I'm like, oh, this feels like an over comment.
Is that John Batiste?
Yeah. That's what's his name?
No. I thought it was John Batiste. Yeah, I'm reading it here. He's, Louisiana native, will be a part. So Batiste over under of 120.5 seconds is the second highest since Chris Stapleton in 2023 went under. 8 anthems since 2007 with an over under of 120 seconds or more. They're an even 4-4 with the last 3 anthems of 120 seconds plus all going under the total.
This is tough. That's a big number.
Maybe yeah, if it is on an instrument, or it will be on an instrument, maybe he tightens it up then.
Well, last year it was tails.
Last year was tails.
And then it was heads, tails, heads. I don't know, man. That's why I just flip a coin. It's like throwing a marker at a draft board.
I mean, yeah, it's literally flipping a coin. That's literally what it is. Yeah,
quite
literally. Thank you for pointing that out.
Any rectangles, guys? Have you looked at this one though?
Yes, wrangles. You got any wrangles for us?
Well, I believe it's Mr. Tolbert, right?
Yep.
He's 3-1 straight up and against the spread in Patrick Mahomes games.
3-1 favoring Mahomes.
The last one that he did in the playoffs with Mahomes was against the Bengals, where the Chiefs won 23-20. They closed -2 on that one.
Yeah, he literally advanced them.
He literally
that game. He threw that.
We're gonna see a three-peat, aren't we?
Oh God.
Chief Pete.
Yeah, you can't say three-peat, right? Didn't Pat Riley like copyrighted it?
Chief Pete.
Chief Pete. Is that what they're going with? Okay, there we go.
I feel like this is gonna happen now.
Colbert has a lot of experience against the Eagles. He ref Hurts 6 times, and Sirianni coached teams 7 times. Hurts
And
is 4-2.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
say that again. Hurts is what?
4-2, winning
Okay.
4 in a row. They have
Ooh.
scored 34, 33, 34, and 24 in all 4 of those games.
Okay.
Screams over.
When it comes to the over/under, he's refed 57 games where the total's been around 47. The under is 32 and 24. Guys,
Ooh,
57% Joe Mouth.
Love that.
look
Let's
at
go.
you. Look
Love
at
it.
you.
Supporting my under, Joe. Love it. Love
This guy's a fraud. This guy's
it.
this guy's got all sorts of wrangles.
He's got all kinds of issues over there.
First half over in the conference championship games, did you guys know, was 15-5 in the last decade? But the Super Bowl, 26-1 since 2005.
Interesting.
So that's a first half over, guys.
I would think the other way too, just thinking off the, a little pressure at the start of the games and
Chiefs adjust so well though. Like that's why I would lean over first half, not second, like for game.
yeah,
What's the half total?
23 and a half.
I'm on the first quarter under 9.5.
Mm.
You guys don't seem to like that one.
I like the full game under, but I have no feeling on the first half. Or
23.5 for the half. Okay.
Who we taking for Super Bowl MVP?
So we were talking about this earlier, Joe, in terms of like getting plus money. Like if you're convinced the Eagles are going to win, like why not just bet Jalen Hurts or Mahomes, vice versa for the Chiefs? Like what's your approach to that? If you're like convinced of a side, do you just take the quarterback for that team?
Okay, here's the deal. I look at it and say, for example, the favorites are generally what, plus 110 or something to that degree or less.
Right.
Only 2 of those have ever won. Patrick Mahomes did as plus 105. And way back when I had the worst loss of my life betting, Peyton Manning against Chicago. So the super duper favorite at the top, it's only done it 2 times since in the last 20 something years. So I would fade everybody at the top. But for the most part, 33 quarterbacks have won out of 59 Super Bowls. Wide receivers are starting to come along a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the last receiver we saw was Edelman, right?
Cup won it.
Oh, Cup. That's right. That's right.
I had Aaron Donald. I was pissed. I'm like, this is a retirement tour. They're giving it to Donald. He made a couple good plays, but they gave it a
So
Cup.
just to give you a hint to throw it at you. So Mahomes, he's won the last 2. He was plus 145, plus 130. When Cup won, he was plus 600. Brady was plus 190. Mahomes, again, that was the year I talked about that he won. Edelman was plus 2,500.
I hit that.
Von Miller was plus 2,500 when he won. Remember Malcolm Smith? He was plus 10,000.
I know people love Barkley in this with the MVP because
where?
Saquon, he's carried the Eagles, and you can get him at plus 260.
I'd rather take Hurts.
I would like Hurts. I like Hurts at plus 350. First of all, he's going to cuck him out of a touchdown like he always does. So right off the bat, if he gets one, he's going in. Gets the chance, he takes it. I don't know. I understand Barkley's been like lights out, and I think he's going to play a role in this game, but geez, 350? Rare that we see a running back favored over a quarterback in this.
For either side, in terms of the receiver, though, the only guys that I'm looking at and pick a side, right, are Xavier Worthy and A.J. Brown. That's it. That's it for me.
Just to give you some of those, I know we went back to the anytime. I mentioned those 5 players, and they all were all in the Chiefs who won, who scored anytime touchdowns. Mahomes, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, remember that? And Mecole Hardman.
That's right.
Mecole Hardman was plus 1,300.
Yeah, you're going to see a random Chief scorer, whether that's Noah Gray.
Noah Gray. Guy, he's doing.
Justin Watson's probably going to get one. Like one of those guys is going to get something.
Yeah, I could see Justin Watson scoring. He likes Justin Watson down there.
Random deep bomb right down the seam, right?
I'm big on look ahead lines, guys.
Okay.
See who the favorite is to win the Super Bowl next year?
I did not.
Chiefs.
Well, because their offense is gonna be loaded. Because now you're getting Rashee Rice back, and they're gonna make an acquisition at running back. Who knows if Travis Kelce hangs it up? I don't know, but maybe he comes back. But you're gonna have Rice, Worthy, potentially Kelce, and then insert running back here.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's my whole point. Is like there's a look ahead line for a reason, guys.
Yep.
Could they win 4 in a row?
I mean,
Ugh.
the only franchise I can ever remember in my life to win 4 in a row is the Celtics in the '60s. Did the Spurs ever? No, right?
No.
No.
Lakers, no.
No.
Just
Jordan.
feels like between injuries and everything, it's so hard to continue to get back.
No, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yeah.
like the Brady versus Mahomes argument.
Yeah, I think it's a waste of time right now.
It's not so much that. It's just that, Brady went through so much change. He had different coordinates. Dude, if he doesn't get hurt in '08, there's no way he does pliability and gets his body in shape. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And,
Yeah, good point.
and I just look at it and say, Mahomes has a dad bod, bro. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, you're 29, you're going to be 30 years old. You've got, let's potentially say, 3 Super Bowls. What? Why? You make the most money. Like, why? Why would he want to go on? The other thing is, can he win without a Spagnuolo defense like everyone talks about with Brady's greatness on defense? Or you hear about Reed. Like, Brady went through like Charlie Weiss and Bill O'Brien and Josh McDaniels and all these guys. They were pillaging all the coordinators over the years. Dude, there were years they didn't even give Tom Brady wide receivers to throw to. You know what I'm saying? And he would go to the Super Bowl. So I hate the conversation because, like, Brady wasn't really supported, and at the time they didn't really draft well. Like, that's not a bad thing for the Chiefs. It's just that I think it's incomparable. And I don't know if you heard the conversation I had with Tony Maserati, but he called me a bitch because I proved him wrong. He said that, in Mahomes' first year, it was his first year, and that's why Brady won. Do people remember that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl the first year he started? So stop with that.
He did.
I got triggered.
It's okay. It's all right, Joe. It's an emotional time for Patriots fans. I understand. People get fired up.
When Patrick Mahomes lost to Tom Brady, remember when he lost? You guys remember that? That was Patrick Mahomes' first year as a starter. So that's supposed to be a reason of why he's not. Give him a pass. Brady won his first year. He won. Does he not get credit because he won? But yet Patrick Mahomes gets credit because it's his first year. I'm out on that.
Everybody's just so recency bias, and everyone's got to have the best of all time, and you have to, like, it's so annoying. They do it. Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe gets thrown in. Like, it's just like, who's the best of all time? And you have the biggest argument ever.
If you don't mind, I got one more hot take. I'm hot.
Please, go.
All right. Keep rolling, buddy.
Yep.
Like, Jalen Hurts back there for a second time. Great. I don't know if he's a long-term solution in the NFL. I don't know. I really don't. Like, his size and all that, I don't know if his durability is there, but he's always been tough and always been a champion, okay? But would the Eagles still be good if somehow they moved on from Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What happened when Tom Brady wasn't on the Patriots anymore?
Matt Castle, 11 wins.
Just in general.
No, I'm kidding.
So, but now, that's all you have.
11 wins, it's bad. It's bad.
11 wins, no playoff, and now it's 5 years of shit, right?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
How are the Red Sox since they've lost Mookie Betts?
Can't talk about it.
How are teams how are the Red Sox after they traded Babe Ruth? You know what I'm saying? I'm going with this Luka Doncic thing here.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, you just can't move on from your star player. It literally derails your organization. That happened with the Patriots and Tom Brady. I think it's going to happen to Dallas and Luka Doncic. And, like, at times, I sometimes prefer the longevity of a good team than losing the quarterback and becoming on the island of irrelevancy. And the Patriots are there right now. They all hope it's Drake May. But realistically, the Chiefs, as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, I think they're going to be always good. But the question is, if Reed isn't there, is he the same guy? And I don't know that. So when we do all these greatness debates, there's still some untold things we don't know about Mahomes. But we can't remember a team that's won 4 in a row, and that's something that he can difference himself.
Speaking of Luca, Joe, I talked to somebody today who listen. It's like a guy who knows a guy, right? So take that for what it's worth. I'm fully like putting that out there. A guy who knows a guy. Jason Kidd was the one who pushed out Luca because he tried to do the same thing with Giannis in Milwaukee. He's not a fan of the superstar on his teams. And
oh yeah, so he joined the superstar in Dallas later on in his career and won a Super Bowl. I mean, won a championship. He doesn't like the star player, but yet had to go play with Dirk to win.
True.
Sorry, I hate that one. Sorry. And by the way, Jason Kidd, it's not about you, bro.
Yeah, we get rid of Jason Kidd before we get rid of Luca. It's my 2 cents, especially in that league.
Do I think that Jason? By the way, I think we all remember Jason Kidd, Boston, 2002, Eastern Conference.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I don't let him off the hook for that. I don't think he's a great guy. So, like, you know, but and one thing I will say about Jason Kidd is a guy who could never shoot the three. And later on in his career, he got better and helped Dirk Nowitzki win a championship. Bless you. Great player, Hall of Famer, all that. I just think that him making decisions for your basketball program is bad. I personally, like, there are some guys that just aren't good at doing it that were former players.
Right.
Moving on. Again, guys, remember when the Dallas Mavericks sucked? Like, they used to have, like, Fat Lever and, like, Jamal Mashburn and, like, you know, all these guys. They sucked. They were irrelevant.
For many years.
They sucked.
Yep.
And listen, yeah, Anthony Davis, I don't want to discredit him. He's a great player. He's 31. I know he's been missed games. Guy's averaging 26 and 12 this year. It's outstanding. But when they suck, how is he? When they aren't good anymore, right? And, like, you want to give you old-ass, washed-up Klay Thompson, and you want to build around Kyrie Irving? Ick. Sorry, that shit ain't going to work. And listen, if it does, guys, I'll come back on, and I'll apologize to everybody. Sorry. In the world, like the Celtics, oh, they were soft. They went how many times to a final or an Eastern Conference final? They're too soft. They can't win. You know what they did? Jaylen Brown, in the worst game he ever played in, when Jason Tatum got hurt in Game 7, they signed him to a Supermax, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't screw him. And then they won a championship. And then they signed Tatum. So, like, I don't know how long that will be for, but I'll always bet the Celtics because they have their 2 great players and didn't move on from them. Everybody else now, the owners are trying to be like the NFL, long story short here. LeBron, for years, could dictate where he wanted to go. Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler still trying to do it.
Yeah, it's changing.
The owners now are like, you don't want to stay in shape? I'll trade you. Like, think about that 2018 draft, right? Michael Bagley goes 2. DeAndre Ayton goes 1. Luka goes 3. Well, SGA went right after that. Do you know that SGA and Luka have been traded now from that draft? Do you know who else was in that draft? Jalen Brunson, who the Mavericks got Luka and Jalen in the same draft, first round, second round. Yep. Both MVP candidates and both not on the team.
That's insane.
Just to go with it, they had Kristaps Porzingis. They had Jalen Brunson. And Luka still wanted to stay there. Right? The same thing with Giannis. Giannis, like, you're right. They tried to push him out, but he won a championship, was Supermax eligible, took it. Who the hell wants to be in Milwaukee? But these guys were loyal. Now the owners, it's like, don't want to give him the Supermax. Let's trade him. And then it screws the guy out of $150 million. Anyways, long story short, the NFL has everyone by the balls. The NBA, those owners, they're trying to do this now.
Yeah, it's definitely times are shifting in the NBA, to say at least, after that trade. I still
all
can't.
Because of the NFL. Look at the owners run everything, guys. Commissioner, say what you want about them. The owners love them because they make a lot. Now they're going to go to 18 games, and now every team's going to play an international game every year. This is like pigs get fat, then they get slaughtered. It's going to happen at some point.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Right. I guess we have to make picks.
yeah, can make picks.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm doubling down.
give me the Eagles plus 1.5.
Give me the Eagles plus one.
I can't tell you how unconfident I am in that.
Feel good.
I'm just going with history and how we've never seen a three-peat. So why start now? And I think that the Chiefs lose this one, they're due, and they come back next year. Look ahead line, Joe, like you said, and that offense is going to be amazing next year. Watch, and they're going to probably win next year. But this year is when they stumble. That's what I think.
All right. Eagles for me. We know that.
So it's a double like.
Listen, I like in soccer. I love to bet soccer. Sometimes you can just bet the team to advance, right? You don't have to bet them to win. You can just bet them to advance. I would like to bet the Chiefs to be the team that holds the trophy.
Okay.
So I guess that's Chiefs money line.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the money line? I think that's fair.
You'd have to go money line if you're going Chiefs, right? Just to protect yourself.
Listen,
It's not
he doesn't
official.
feel good about it.
Not official yet, but
It's official on this podcast, sir.
When does this come out?
About half an hour after I'm done.
It's what? Wednesday?
Wednesday afternoon.
Damn it.
Approaching
Chiefs.
2:00.
I'm in. Chiefs money line.
All right.
Money line. All right. I can't blame you. Can't blame you. It very well could go that way, as we all know. But
what's going to happen is they're going to be down 2 points. They're going to throw a Hail Mary, and there's going to be a flag. And then Harrison Butker's going to come win the game.
Perfect. Eagles plus 1.5. Check. Love it. There it is. The last time you were on was Thanksgiving, and we had a triple like, and it didn't go well. We all picked the Lions, I think, right? We like the Lions.
We're all due for a win, baby.
no, there was a triple like we did hit, though.
Yeah, we did hit two. There was one. I think it was my best bet. There was the Rams. It was the Rams. I gave out the Rams as my best bet that week. They hit. You liked them too, Tuck. And Joe, you mentioned it before. It was like the middle of the show. You're like, I like the Rams. I'm looking at this line. I like the Rams this week. And it was my best bet, which we gave out in the middle.
I had Ravens, Rams as like my Super Bowl combo at the beginning of the year. And so I bet the Eagles, though, to win the NFC. So I was really torn. Like, should I hedge? What should I do?
Yeah.
I ended up losing the Rams, but I won the Eagles, which actually I won a little bit of money of it. But yeah, I still think the Ravens would have won, man, over Buffalo.
I agree. I said it here too. I think they beat the Chiefs, and I think they would have won the whole thing.
Ugh.
They just
somebody pulled a Mark Andrews card today, and I told the guy not to drop it.
Beautiful.
Twice. Drop
By
it
the way,
twice.
if you're gonna do a tier of the best wide tight ends over the last 5 years, isn't it Andrews and Kelsey?
Yeah, it's not even close either.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, Kittle. You can make an argument.
Kittle's right up there.
Kittle's awesome.
Absolutely. But they're all there. You know.
Yeah.
And, it sucks, dude. It's like Wes Welker. Wes Welker, a hell of a wide receiver, man, and probably a Hall of Famer. But we only remember him for one thing.
Yep. It sucks when that happens. I felt for that guy so hard. Yeah. You can imagine what his DMs looked like. Just a bloodbath. People of Baltimore. Oh,
I don't know. I would have just laid on the money. I would have been like,
Yeah, that's also fine. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. He's also okay.
Yeah. I'll also say I'm probably going to take the under by Sunday. I just two elite defenses, and yeah, I just feeling that way too.
I have one question for you, Joe, because I know, Tuck, you're not a big teaser guy, but this is a game where I am okay. I like the under. So as someone who likes the under, I just want your opinion on this with the same game teaser. The Eagles plus 7.5 right now, and you can get under 54.5. If you like the under, how would you play that? Like, would you do something like that where you tease and you get the Eagles to plus 7.5? Like, we all feel like it's going to be a close game. If you feel confident in that, what's your approach there? What are your feelings on the same game teaser for a Super Bowl?
This is interesting. I think both sides can win. I think you could tease through the 0 on the Chiefs and win. I think you could go up to 7.5 for the Eagles. I think you could go under 54, and maybe
over 42.
Or, yeah, maybe. Again, the line dictates how the game should be played, right? So, I think either way, it's good. I probably would say less on the over, though.
Yeah.
Like, you got to hit a 42 number. What would 42 be? Would that be like 21-17?
You got no, it would be like 24. Well, not even 20. It's a weird number. For 22 is like 21-21. So then you're looking at like 20.
Under 47 hypothetically could be 24-20.
Yes.
24-21.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is there a bet maybe where you bet both teams to score under 25 points?
Could do it.
Like, that might be better than teasing because they're plus odds.
Yeah, like what are the odds on that? Yeah, I gotcha.
Like team total or
it's an interesting way to look at it, because I haven't done this yet, but I've thought about teasing the same game, and in a Super Bowl where it's obviously one game, and I like both sides. I feel pretty good about an Eagles getting 7.5 and the game staying under 54.5. That just feels.
What do you get for that?
Even if it goes to overtime, your 54 is on the line, but you'll still cover the 1.5.
Yep.
What is that, minus 120, Matt?
Yeah, we minus 120 to do that.
Dude, I love teaser. I like to bet teaser a lot, but
same.
It's almost like you have to look for like these books have these weird like loophole almost, where it's like, oh, the total's at 43, but you can get the team total at this, and it's like, it's like, why am I not taking this when it's better odds if I do that? Like, I bet you there's something in this game that like that's why I'm saying maybe team, like you can adjust the team total sometimes, like on DraftKings, let's say.
Yep.
I did it last night actually in the basketball game for the Celtics. Donovan Mitchell's gone over 24 points in the last 8 games versus the Celtics. Last night, I took it at 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28.
Nice.
And all of them hit last night, and they were all
nice little ladder bet. Love that.
But the reason why I did it was because of the history. And I think that when percentages are on your side, it's no different than blackjack, guys. If they got a king and you got 16, you got to hit, right?
Yeah.
And your jaw drops like Beyonce winning the country award. It's like, holy shit, I made it. Anyways, that's all I got for you on that one. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna be wasting a lot of money this week.
Yeah. Same.
I'm donating a lot this week.
So, yeah. We got one last chance to do it, so we got to do it.
Yeah, and then it's bye until the draft.
The shit part of this.
Hell no, dude. It's March Madness, baby.
Well, yeah, March Madness is.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking
basketball season, but
I'm gonna be betting this 4 nations battle that I have no clue about.
We might have to have you back on for March Madness, Joe.
Oh, Madness! I'm in on March Madness.
We've never done a March Madness podcast. We've always just taken a break.
Talked about it, but we're doing it.
Your listeners, I would say this: football, basketball, golf, soccer, whatever it is, don't bet the teams, bet the numbers. It doesn't matter. It's all hey, Tucker, you could work in sports radio, financial radio is the same damn thing. It's still radio, right? So no matter, even though it's different topics, it's still radio. I learned music before I learned radio production. It was still production, right? Like when it comes to betting, don't bet the teams, bet the numbers. And I can't say it enough. Even in college basketball, man, when North Carolina is minus 21 and it doesn't look right, probably doesn't look right.
Yeah,
it's just how it is.
It's very true.
Even though North Carolina duped the other.
Oh God!
It was 14, and
I fell for that.
North Carolina.
I fell for that. Admittedly, I took Carolina 14.5.
What did it end up being?
Disgusting.
It was 14 and a half. They got fucking destroyed. I was on
Oh.
North Carolina. And here's the deal. 7 of the last 8, they covered every game. Like, what the
That's
hell?
it. It's just like rivalry game. Like, how do you not take? Oh God!
But
And
again,
they made the late run and cut it to 17 too. And Duke shoots a 3 with like 9 seconds left. Hits. Son of a bitch.
remember, it's
I
not
turned the
about
game off. It was over.
You bet the team at the number.
That's right.
I did too.
Yep. I
Not
sure
about the teams. It's about the number.
sure is. It's good advice.
right. Well, Joe Murray, thank you so much, as always, for joining us on this Super Bowl edition of the Better In-Laws podcast. And again,
Thank
you
you,
can
Joe.
find Joe on Twitter at Joey Murr, and, of course, on nights on 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Can I
Joe,
give you guys a
appreciate it,
shout
buddy.
out? I give you guys a shout out real quick.
Yeah.
I think that the next wave, because we're older. You're a dad. Like, you know what I mean? You guys are dads. You know?
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
not. But I got a dad bod. But where I'm going with this is graphics, man. You guys got graphics with your picks. I think it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Some people may not listen to your podcast every week. Some people may only want your picks.
Mhm.
But the graphic, dude, it goes a long way. And, you know, it's a big part of digital marketing. And digital, it's all we
Yeah.
have. So
Mhm.
I would continue to really hammer down on the graphics because, you know, although I might not listen to your podcast every week,
Right.
at least I know you're doing it every week. And it
The
makes me
presence.
like, you know, it makes me know that you guys are still on the game while I might not be.
Well, I did a graphic once, and Matt got all pissy because we jinxed the shit out of it.
Jinx my best bet streak with scumbag.
Well, here's the deal. You don't have to necessarily. I love that. I love that he feels that way.
So I was yelling at him the second he posted. I'm like, did you just post on the social page?
God forbid we post a graphic.
But why not do things like
Promote us.
like you can make a little clip of
No.
like national anthems and times, and then
Right.
a nice little graphic that says, "Did you know, motherfuckers, times are under and 4 and like a little trombone in there, you know?"
Yeah. No,
like
I mean Matt is our graphics artist for the most part, or actually for the majority of it. He'll publish our picks once they actually start. But yeah, we need help on the social media and graphics front.
Yeah.
It's literally just the two of us.
You would think working for the largest radio station and most successful radio station in the United States,
You
that
can't
we
get
would-
graphics, Joe. Yeah.
You would think so. Now I have put a intern on it, and every day he makes a nice one for me, and I keep giving him more to do, and he keeps wanting to do more, and he's helping me, and I'm helping him.
There
It's
you
just
go.
a great little partnership. It's called
Yeah, maybe it would be nice to get an intern or some sort of help for us. I just don't know what intern would want to be with us.
You guys have betterinlaws@gmail.com or something like that?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yes,
do.
We
If
do.
you want to
Do,
do graphics
Tucker.
for the guys, and you want to help me too, email the guys. Joe Murray at 98.5thesportshub.com as well.
Perfect.
Do we get email?
That was a solicitation right there, guys.
I was gonna say
I wasn't paid for that.
free advertisement, Joe.
We don't even get emails.
Nobody
Who the
emails
fuck's
me.
gonna email us?
Dude, I got more DMs and of men asking me where to eat than I do about sports betting now.
Oh, I believe that 100%. I remember
That could
working
be a
on
good
your
bit.
show.
That could be a good bit. Just let's open Joe's DMs, you know?
It's a
And
good
it's just
idea.
like, going to the Orpheum Theater this week. Where do you think I should go?
That's a great idea, Joe.
I'm
That'd be
actually
really
looking-
good.
You
I'm
should-
looking at one right now.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, I'm serious. Do that
Yeah.
on your night show at like 9:00.
Perfect. It's a perfect segment.
Well, we used to do something called the it was called Tweet Your Meat, but it didn't. It was really people eating dinner and they would tweet their meat.
Not their cocks. And tweet that up.
Those are Kendra's DMs. The poor thing.
Dude, I've seen them, bro.
That's a disaster.
You don't want to see those, bro.
Oh, don't.
Like, you'll be turned off. Like, it's weird. It's like, and by the way, who the hell wants to see a dick pic? I'm out. I'm out.
Out.
Yeah,
Out.
like,
I'm afraid
even
to
if you're
do it.
attracted to them, like why the hell would you want to see that?
Yes.
You know?
Go from Super Bowl picks to dick pics.
That's what you get with the Better In-Laws podcast. That's what you get. You get the Eagles plus 1.5, and you get dick pics. You're welcome. The audience, you're welcome.
That's a great promo.
and cut
Slice
that.
it up.
Oh man.
Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday, guys.
All right, Joe. Appreciate it as always,
you.
and we'll talk to you. All right. That's gonna do it for us. And as we mentioned there, follow us on socials at Better in Laws. And good luck, everybody. I guess Eagles plus 1.5 for both of us. It sounds like both on the under. That's that. Matt will publish an elite graphic and we'll post that out and probably jinx us. Is his logic, right?
No, my best bet graphic won't go out.
Yeah.
Just is what it is. We can do that at the end of the year because it's a nice record. We'll showcase.
Yeah,
that.
you definitely should. Maybe hold off on my record for the year.
You know,
It's just stupid. Yeah.
You're good.
All right. Well, appreciate everybody, and we'll talk to you. And good luck, and stay tuned for future podcast in the coming weeks. We'll obviously take a break, and like I said, we'll probably come back and do a March Madness one. Pretty sure I said that last year, but then a bunch of shit happened. But now we're doing it, so we'll come back and we'll do it. Okay? How's that sound?
Got some Saturday college basketball fun coming to the Instagram, and we'll do some stuff.
Yeah. So at Better in Laws, like us, subscribe on YouTube, all that shit. Appreciate everybody out there. Thank you for everything, and we'll talk to you in the coming weeks. All right.